Good morning. Hope you are doing fine. Let us start with today's class. Uh, Student, in sessions before, your book one talks about the management, right? And the very first chapter, we spoke about these five principal functions which are to be performed by any manager: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, right? So here it is coordinating, yes, while directing, it involves three things: you're supervising, you're communicating, and you're giving direction to your employees or your workers. Now, first thing in planning, what we do, we identify the goals and determine the best course of action required to achieve those goals. And under organizing, we assign the responsibilities to the employees with the detailed skill set needed to complete the task. Then we hire the right people for the right position to help the organization achieve its objectives. Then, as I told you, comes directing and then controlling. Once all these four functions are being performed, you are directed your employees, they know what their job is and what needs to be done to complete the task. Then comes the controlling part, which means monitoring the employees' performance and compare it with the goals. And if the performance is not up to the mark and it is a hindrance in achieving the goals, then corrective action needs to be taken. Okay, so today we will talk about controlling. Okay, a very important function which is performed by each manager every day in work situations. And we will understand the concept of controlling and also the steps involved in controlling in this chapter. Now, what is controlling? As I was telling you, it's a management function of monitoring organizational performance towards the attainment of predetermined goals. Once the goals are set, okay, those goals are to be achieved, and through controlling, the process is monitored, okay, and so that the goals can be achieved. So it is the process of comparing the actual performance with the standards and finding out deviations. Deviations means any issues which are maybe there, if any, okay. If suppose 100 units were to be produced in one day, but only 60 is getting produced. So it is not reaching the standards. The plan was to produce 100 units, but only 60 is getting produced. So in this case, corrective action is required. And this is what controlling is. Where we are, that means measuring. Where we plan to be, we are evaluating. And then how we can come back on the track. That is correction. Okay. So all this is part of controlling. Talking about nature of controlling. So controlling is a goal-oriented process as it ensures that an organization's resources are being used effectively and efficiently for the achievement of predetermined goals. That's why we say it is goal-oriented. Pervasive function, as features of management, when we say management is pervasive, so is controlling. It's a primary function of every manager. Managers at all levels of management, that is top level, middle level and lower level, needs to perform this function to control to keep a control over activities in their areas. Moreover, controlling is as much required in educational institutions, in IT companies, schools, colleges, hospitals, anywhere, clubs, so all everywhere we need to perform this function. That's why it is pervasive. Continuous process. It's not that today you have controlled, tomorrow you don't have to, right? So like you plan a new project, you execute the plan, you check, and you act, right? And again, for the next day, it goes on. It's not always necessary new project, new day. Every day you need to perform this function. So it involves constant review of actual performance and taking corrective actions if required. It's not that only one day you will ensure that the production target is met, okay, and the next day you are not monitoring. It's not possible. It has to be every day. So it brings the management cycle back to the planning function. So we cannot call controlling as the last function. Why? Because it is bringing you back to the planning function as a corrective action is taken to prevent the recurrence of the deviations in future. So once you have taken a corrective action, then you will, next time when you're planning, you will ensure that those points are taken care of. So it brings you back to the planning function. Okay. Talking about next feature, that is controlling is both backward and forward looking function. Why do we say backward? Because it involves scrutinizing of the events after they have happened, they have taken place. Okay, so the target was 100 units, 60 units are only being produced. So you're going back and checking why only 60, right? So that is backward looking. And forward looking, once you take a corrective action which will help you to improve the productivity or the production and bringing it back to again maybe 95 or 100 units, then that means it is a forward looking function. Okay, so moving from feedback to feed forward, that is what controlling is, backward and forward looking function. This is one of the new concept when I was doing this principles of management. I told you classical theories are there, but now new methods of uh, doing things have come up. So Six Sigma, though it's not the part of your chapter controlling, but I just wanted to tell you what is happening in environment these days and what companies use. So Six Sigma is one of the uh, parameters which is used by the, or one of the theories which is used by companies these days. What it is, it is a set of techniques and tools for process improvement. Okay, so Six Sigma strategies seek to improve the quality of output of a process by identifying and removing the causes of defects and minimizing impact variability in manufacturing and business processes. So basically, it is a controlling tool only, right? So initially, it getting defined, the job is getting defined, okay? Then it is measured, then it is analyzed, then if required improvement, then control comes in place. Fine. So it is what? A controlling measure only. So if you want to know more about it, you can check, but this just a small introduction I wanted to give you on process of Six Sigma. So that's it for today. Thank you.